Namo Arihantanam, Namo Siddhanam, Namo Airiyanam, Namo Uvachayanam, Namo Loe Savasahunam. Jai Jinendra, everybody. Today is September 3rd, and today we are on Aashrav bhavna, which is the last, or actually first, of the Tattva Parak bhavnas. And so it becomes the 7th bhavna we are going to do, and our 11th day of the 18-day Paryushan Parva that we are celebrating. Now, to begin with, let me introduce you to our junior speaker, and then I will brief a little bit about the today's short dharma, out of the 10 dharma, and then we will move on to the topic itself. All right, so today we have with us Anshul Shah. He is 17 years old. He comes from North Allegheny Senior High School. He's in grade 12, so going to college next year. And he's associated with Jain Center of Pittsburgh. In fact, that's where we are from also temporarily. Right now, we are in Orlando, but we belong to Pittsburgh also. So Anshul is from my hometown. And he is very interested in Jainism. His mom is his mentor at home. And his hobbies and interests are guitar, computer science, taekwondo. His long-term plans are software development and maybe research or math as well. Very good. Good luck to you, Anshul. You'll be graduating this year and going on to new horizons, off to college. All right. So over to you, the Aashrav bhavna.
Jai Jinendra, everyone. Today we'll be talking about Aashrav bhavna. To begin, there are 12 bhavnas in Jainism, where each is a thought or idea to guide people towards right actions and fulfillment. Aashrav bhavna is the 7th one. So I'd like to start with a quote from Srimad Rajchandra, and it says, Rag, Dvesh, Agnan, Nityatva, Ityadik, Sarv, Aashrav Che, Im Chintavu, Te Satmi Aashrav Bhavna. And the meaning of this is to contemplate attachment, animosity, ignorance of reality, belief in the world as the reality, etc., are the cause of karma, is the 7th Aashrav bhavna. The meaning of this bhavna refers to the influx of karma. We can accumulate positive karma from voluntary actions, such as having good actions, speech, thoughts, and making a positive impact on yourself and the community. Negative karma can come from many different places. Just breathing kills microorganisms, giving you negative karma. So does having hurtful actions, speech, and thoughts. Some examples of positive karma include saving an animal, just like how we might save a worm from drying up in the sun, or helping a friend understand a math problem. Examples of negative karma often come from our senses. For example, from your sight, you might see a large insect and feel the need to harm it because you're scared. Or taste, when you eat something that is bland in your mind, blame or get annoyed at the cook. Instead, if we learn to recognize our irrational feelings and let go, we can be calmer and not accumulate karma. The takeaway is that we should reflect and meditate on this bhavna and the others, which will make us more conscious and careful about our senses, thoughts, and emotions so that we can prevent accumulating karma. Ideally, we don't want to accumulate any type of karma so we can attain moksha. The stoppage of influx of karma will be discussed in the 8th bhavna, which is samvara bhavna. Thank you everyone for joining, and Prabhaji and Jaina for helping us with this event.
Anshul, you can stop sharing, beta. Okay. Thank you. It was very nice presentation. Really appreciate the hard work you guys do to research the topic and present, make the slides and everything. Thank you. Really, really appreciate. And hope even when you go to college, you keep up this good work of studying Jainism, researching topics, and applying it to yourself.
Thank you.
Okay. So now we come to, actually, let me ask in the audience, which term is today? Yesterday, which one did we do? Who is going to tell me? Yes. Ram Gopalan sir, can I ask you?
Aashrav.
Yes, yesterday we did Arja. And
Today is Shauch.
yes,
Shauch.
thank you so much. Uttam Shauch. So since we have this year decided to do Bara Bhavna and other topics, but we are still, in the term, I am going to give a brief 5-minute synopsis of Uttam Shauch. We all know over the days I've been saying why it is Uttam, because it applies to Samyak Drashtis. Okay, once you attain Samyak Darshan, that is when you really are able to, manifest truly all these dharmas. But that does not mean that we don't practice those. Okay, so Uttam Shauch is purity, which is opposite of lobh. Lobh is greed in English. So greed is, in one way, it's called the father of all sins, because greed goes the last. Even after Samyak Darshan, as the soul is progressing in its path, greed stays all the way till 10th Gunasthan. And the reason being is that even the greed of getting moksha, even the greed of getting Samyak Darshan, all of them can prevent, slow down your progress in the path. Now, I'm going to quote my student actually, who did the summary of this Uttam Shauch. She did a very good job. I'm obviously not going to go into that much detail, but basically, like I said, it is for Samyak Drishti. Even Muniraj get greed of, getting back into their soul and things like that. But for us lay people, we observe ourselves that we are greedy, to getting good health, to getting prosperity, to power, to money, to just about everything. There is greed all over our lives. So how do we become non-greedy? By understanding the characteristics of soul. soul has this short dharma, which is the pure dharma. It does not have any greed in it because it already has everything. So what is important is that we understand, we get this wow factor for the soul, for the pure soul, that it is full, already full of all those characteristics. So if I could be in my soul, I would not need to be greedy about anything at all. So anything that we are greedy of, whether it is money, prosperity, power, beauty, all that, even if we got it, it's going to only take us into the circle of life and death and life and death. We wish for something, maybe it will come true because we, accumulated those kinds of shubh karmas. But at the end of it, what? You're still in sansar, you're still going to be miserable at times, and maybe little less misery at times, and which we consider, oh, it's today I'm happy because, maybe at this moment, nothing is going wrong with me. But then the next moment, we don't know what's going to happen. Some bad news could come, something could go wrong with my health. So there's no other shelter other than your own soul. So something to ponder upon, that with this amazing what we are, there's no really space to be greedy about anything. And it's obviously there's a lot more depth than just thinking, of course we go to sermons and during the Paryushan, and the Maharaj Sahib will tell you not to be greedy on a superficial level. And maybe we understand that day, oh, okay, fine, I won't be greedy, and I won't lie and try to get more money out of something, or but even the slightest of even the thought of saving money, what is that? A greed to have more money, or even to earn a lot of money, is a greed to have that power of having little more than your next door neighbor. So I'll give you my today's example. We just went somewhere and somebody did us a favor of letting us go in a boat. So, well, it was nice that because we probably couldn't have bought the rental boat at the time, and somebody let us do it. So that was great. But at the same time, what thought do we get? Oh, we saved that $400. This guy let us do it for free. Is that a great thought? Yes, it is. So something, day to day, every time you experience something, think about these 10 dharmas. What are we doing? Observe yourself, because it's only yourself that you can observe, find out your mistakes, do prayashchit for it, and hopefully be better next time. So without taking more time for this, I'm going to introduce our speaker today, Dr. Dev Kumar Jain. Of course, he was there yesterday, so some of you are familiar, but I still will introduce because we may have new people join today. Dr. Dev Kumar he has graduated with a bachelor's in chemistry from University of Madras, MS from the prestigious Indian Institute of Technology, Chennai, and PhD from another premier institute, the Indian Agriculture Research Institute, New Delhi. And he still resides in New Delhi. He started his scientific career under the ARS stream and rose to the research management position. After 38 years of service involving research, postgraduate teaching, and guidance and administration, he retired as the Assistant Director General of the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, the largest network of agricultural research and education institutes in the world. He has made outstanding contributions in his profession. I'm not going to talk a lot of detail about his profession right now, because right now we're talking about Jainism, so I'll talk about his accomplishments there. He had his early education on Jainism from his scholarly father, which he developed gradually. So this teaches us, if the parents are scholarly, if the parents have an interest, the children also by osmosis, they get it also, and hopefully they develop more interest. So Anshul, your mom has given you a lot of good sanskar, and hopefully you will develop them like Dr. Devakumar. Now, and then of course, he developed gradually. In the last 24 years, his contributions to Jainology increased year after year. He regularly contributed on various aspects of Jainism to several Yahoo groups and became known among Jain scholars, including many Jaina members. With the advent of WhatsApp, he is administering 2 exclusive groups on Jainism in Tamil since 2018. He now has a Facebook group as its branch. His contributions on the way of books, forewords, lectures, audio sermons, etc., have been growing. He has delivered talks in both the International Conference on Science and Jain Philosophy, 2016 and 2021. He has used 5,000 years ephemeris data to confirm the Panchakalyana dates of the last 2 Tirthankars. He has a deep insight in Jain philosophy. He is currently giving fortnightly lectures on Sri Gomatasar Jeev Kand on Tuesdays under JAS online seminars. So Gomatasar, as I said in my lecture about the Charanu Yoga, is a Karnanu Yoga, and Karnanu Yoga topics are a little difficult because they involve a lot of numerology, math, and more scientific. So this is great that he's able to understand Gomatasar and gives lessons in it. Some of his remarkable contributions are tracing the Jain origins of Indian festival, Jaina flavor in the Indian national emblem, discovering the reference to Diwali in Harivansh Puran, Jain origins of many Hindu temples, notably Balaji, Guruvayur, Meenakshi, Mahalakshmi, Varadaraja, Nataraj, etc., and dramatic discovery of a vital clue to daily prayer seeking Sanlekhana in the scriptures, etc. His notable lectures delineated the enunciation of basic knowledge, Matignan, comparison of Jain Parmanu with particle physics, machine codes of likes and dislikes. Thank you so much, Dr. Devkumar. Over to you.
Om Namah Siddhebhyah. Sadhu Jai Jinendra. Thank you, Prabhaji. It's a torture for you to go through my brief biodata. You did it excellently. I also welcome all the honorable members. The Bhaviji was today, especially my senior friend Ram Gopalji Jain, Brahmachari Chaitanya Prakash Ji, the great scholar Kamala Devi Ji, my sister, I think Sugandhi, and so on. So yesterday my own sister was also there. I'm happy people from India, especially Tamil Nadu, they're joining. Suprabhadam Sunakshatram Sukalyanam Sumangalam Trailog Edagartrunam Yenanam Yeva Shastram. I say Suprabhadam to all of you. And I think it has been nicely flagged up. We talked about Uttama Shauch, which is very, very refreshing, actually. It gives us to insight, how much we are addicted to it. Thank you so much. Very powerful message that you gave, Prabhaji. And Anshulji really flagged off about this Uttama, that article, Aashrav bhavna. I'll just carry on from there. Thank you, Prabhaji, for selling the PowerPoint presentation. Yesterday it was a PDF file, so I was wondering why I was not been able to. I discovered that. Anyway, today I hope it will be fine. We are talking about, as you correctly said, is among the tattvas. Suppose we are talking about Jivana Jeev for a long time. It's based on this Aashrav bhavna, that the interconnect that is keeping us glued on to this world, to this mundane world. So my outline of the talk would include, I'm very happy to discover the great gathas from Sri Panchastikaya the cycle of transmigration. I was wondering how to begin with that. I think I got a very good clue on this. Then we'll just also get into the definition scope of Aashrav, the gateways of Aashrav, the karmas, classification of Aashrav, the driving forces of Aashrav, which from Raishan Bhai took it up, Anshulji said about it. And while I was doing that yesterday, suddenly it just flat. What happens when you have the Agar Vargana everywhere? There has to be some scientific clues. I got some good, interesting one slide on that. Then the Aashravas could be broadly classified into auspicious and inauspicious. And it is not the end of the world. Puja Acharya Sri Kundukunda Acharya has given us a word, the clue that even remaining as a Gragasto, Moksha Margasto, we can still progress further sooner. So this is why I was thinking that how to begin it. I had the great clue from the Panchastika Sankraha. He just starts a beautiful Jokhalu Samsaratto Jivo Tatto Duhodi Parinamo. Why we are glued, why Siddha Jivas, our smart, our own relatives. The Siddha Parameshris were our relatives once. They're all today as Siddha Parameshri. What is that? That Parinamas, that our interest, our outlook, that is what is getting glued as the mundane soul, samsaric jeev. Parinamado kammam. The moment you get involved, as Anshulji was mentioning, into those negative thoughts, then we accumulate karmas. Kammado vodi gati sukh, and karmas lead to the cycle of the gati, 4 gatis existence. We are going through that. Gati sugati, gati madika, gati madika gatischa deho. The moment, if you look at that from Komatsar or Dhavala Granth, in instance, as soon as if we leave this body, get into the another body, we get into, that Kshetra Bhavi, Vipaki Karm, then we get the new body. Gati Madhigata sa Deho, we get a body.
Devkumarji, sorry, if you're able to, if it's too difficult, don't worry about it. If you can click the presentation mode, then your slides will look bigger and better.
Is it? I'm fine. I'm finding it comfortable. No issue.
No, I'm sorry. You are comfortable, but the audience is not able to read your slides.
Okay, okay.
Can somebody, Amisha, can you point it on his screen where the presentation mode button is?
No, I'll go for that. Okay, I'll go to the normal mode of it. Never mind. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah, it's fine, sir. But if you put the presentation mode, then the whole screen will have your slide. I'm trying to see on your screen where you could click.
It's right there. I went to set up slideshow. Is this not working?
Sir, go down on the way below. There are 3 little things, where you see the 4 dots, and to the right of it.
Yeah, that
Left of the 66%. If you click on that, the whole thing will be covered.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. I just clicked it. Yeah. Is it
there
okay?
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still not doing it. It's okay. Dhimanji, if you can unmute Amisha ji, maybe she can help him. Wait, let me see if I can do it.
I can possibly reduce it. I can go by the.
No, it's not actually doing it. 1 second here. Let me unmute her.
I hope people are comfortable.
Insane.
Are you able to talk, Amisha?
Yeah. So
okay. On the right top, right to the left of the X.
on the top of the where he says home, insert, design, you said all those things, animation.
No.
It says slideshow. Just click on the slideshow.
Yeah, sir. Can you click on
That's
that?
What I did it.
Amisha, no, on the top, sir. On the top, where that home, insert, design, the fifth one, the slideshow. See if you can click on that. Yeah, further up. Yeah,
Yeah, I just come to
right. Keep going, slideshow, sir. Yeah,
No,
design
actually,
and
no.
animation.
This image is blocking me. I just reduce it 1 second.
Yeah, 1 second. Yeah, if you can put it down.
This, our Zoom
Yeah, I know
image.
what you mean, your recording and all that is.
Zoom image is coming on the way. I just miss it. That's what I did. The Zoom
Okay.
image.
Going, yeah, if you were right there, keep moving your cursor. Yeah, right there. If you can click it. No, further. Yeah, right there. Take a little bit right, further right.
No, Prabhaji, I have a problem. There is this, our window is there.
Oh, because your window is coming on the top. Okay.
I'm
Are you
unable
able to move the screen? I mean, move the whole, never mind, continue. I don't want to take your time doing that.
No, I'll just see whether
There
I
you
can.
go. No, now it reduced it. So that's not what you
I'll
want.
see whether I can just move this up.
Yeah.
This you
There,
slideshow.
now
No?
you can see. Yeah, try that. Yeah. Slideshow.
I'll
No, not
get
from
into
the, no, you don't want from beginning. Amisha, you want to help?
No, I'll just get that. No problem on that. Is
Okay,
it
don't
okay?
worry. Then just expand it again. So
I'll
we can
go into that. No problem on that. Start the slideshow. We'll get on to that. No problem. That's what I was doing it. Yeah. Thank you. I hope it's okay. It's also a problem.
Yeah, sir.
It's too much.
Okay. Right now it's showing black screen. Your slides are not being shared.
Oh, again, I'll do it.
You have to stop sharing. You have to stop
Or
sharing.
plus,
Stop sharing and share it again.
yeah, you can stop
internet.
sharing and bring it again.
Yeah, we
sharing.
start all over. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, sir.
Fine. We stop share and reshare. Thank you. Thank you so much. Sometimes it happens.
Okay. And if you want, just drag and make this bigger, the size of it.
Just maximize it again on the top.
If you can, if there's a way to maximize, are we talking about this one, Diman, on the right side? Right, to the left of the
Maximize it
X?
because earlier I just minimize it. I'll just bring it. Yeah. Now I can maximize.
Whatever you're comfortable with, that's fine.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's
Thank you.
perfect.
This is okay. It's okay.
So I was talking about that. This is a cycle. We are here, and from here we have been moving around. We'll be moving around for some time at least. So we get into new gati, new birth, and the new birth leads to the body, the required body. The body then gets the senses according to the birth I get, and then I start all over again. This is what this has been going on and on and on. Anadi nidano va sanidano va. Is it's going on for another time. For some of us, it can be not that long. We may be ending the cycle of it. It's a beautiful, I thought. And here is the one that parinam, the one which is cause of it, and that we are going to talk about. So what is Aashrav basically is a Sanskrit word. Srav means flow, and means continuous. The continuous flow means Aashrav. That's the point of it. It can be any liquid, anything that happens, continuous flow, relay system of it. And here we'll be seeing in our case, and let's remember when we talk about we as human beings, we should not forget the ekendriyas and others. They may not have the mind and speech capacity. They do go through the Aashrav because they still have the body. So it could be any of them or all of them. And then these are the things, the vibrations that causes the Aashrav to come in. The vibration means the intelligence into do something good or bad. That's why. So in case of VS, the lighty, there are at least ordinarily 3 bodies are there. Yesterday I showed the 3 types of bodies: Karman Sharir, Taijas Sharir, and Avdarik Sharir. Avdarik is visible. Karman and Taijas are invisible to us. So just as the entrance to bring water into the pond is called Aashrava, that's what I said. So the karmas to bind the soul come through the continued in the form of yoga. The yoga is the combination of this Putkal there will be in terms of instruments, faculty like body, speech, and mind. Interacting with the soul, so-called in bhav karma, then we get to the notion of Aashrav karma. So karma yoga leads to the influx of 8 types of karmas. So we have the, excuse me, the famous Tattva Sutra, Kaya Vang Mana Karma Yoga hai, Sahasrava. So I request to you, remind you that please go through this 6th and 7th chapter of Tattva Sutra, or some may like it Tattva Adhigam Sutra, and with the guide of Sarvarsa Siddhi, the best commentary that is available. If you want further more detail, you can go to Tattva Rajavartik. Still you want detail, you can go to Tattva Slokavartik. So much is available. Then lot of Tattva Vritti, so on like that. This is a central one. It's a real, I would say, if one is permitted to say, it's a Bible for us. If you know Tattva Sutra, you can take care of most of the thing. So now what happens is, what is that? Just 1 second. Yeah. There's Komtsar Jeev Kant, the Sanskrit version says, Putkala Vipaki Dehodayena Mana Vachana Kaya Yuktasya Jivasya Yahi Shakti Karma Karmagama Kramanam Yoga. This Yoga Shakti is the one that leads to the cause of the karma interest. The causal power of the mundane soul endowed with any or all of mind, speech, and body in indulging in vibrations from the rise of respective Putkala Vipaki, Angopanga Nama Karma, and Sharira Nama Karma is called yoga. You know, you need the Angopanga is the special instrument like that senses or mind or the speech or the whole body is called. This yoga Shakti causes attraction of respective Mano Vakaya Vargana. There are 23 Varganas in the entire universe. This Mano Vakaya Vargana, respective way, we get into that. So Sarvar Siddhi gives, I kept the Sanskrit one, I removed it. The bodily activity is the vibration set in the Atma Pradesh of the soul by the molecules. The Karma Vargana, the Ahara Dravya Vargana, we can call them as molecules of one of the 7 kinds of bodies, consequent on the destruction comes subsidence of energy obstructing karma. This is a long word which means Trayobhasamaya of Viryantra karma leads to that, because some of us are able to do more work and some of us are less because of the regulating factor is called the Viryantarai, and that in the terms of destruction come subsidence, because there is a Sarvakadi and Deshakadi. I mean, we need to go to the Komatsar. That's the reason they use the 2 terms, Traya and Upashama. Some are in Shaya form, which is not coming up, and Upashama. I will not, because I may run out of time. Then Vachana Yoga is the same. The speech activity is the vibrations so consequent on the activity of the molecule composing the organ of speech, that is Angopang, formed on the rise of body, Saririka Nama Karma, and on the attainment of capacity, Vachana Labdhi. You see, the Vachana Labdhi is something very precious. We need to understand that law animals around us cannot express the speech in the form of the same thing, the Viryantra Karma and Madhya Aksharadi Avaran Karma. Madhya Aksharadi Avaran Karma leads to the Vachana Yoga. I said about 7 bodies. Vasuna Acharya Sri Vasunandi gives the 7 bodies are Kaya Vargana, Avadarika Kaya Yoga, Avadarika Mishra Kaya Yoga. This is a mix actually. Avadarik and the Mishra is it leads to 7 combinations. We don't have Vaikrika body. So that when he says that any 7 body, it includes all the soul, mundane souls in 4 gatis. Now I come to that's what I was telling while doing it to the Ahara Vargana. These are the molecules. We are really getting ready-made food, I must say, for the components are available by the body construction, Nirman, Utkal Vipaki, in terms of Vargana. Vargana itself needs a special lecture actually. So Organic molecules have been discovered not just in interstellar clouds from the solar neighborhood, but also throughout the Milky Way, as well as in nearby galaxies or some of the most distant quasars. These discoveries were made possible by the completion of large sub-millimeter radio facility. Here is a reference again. It's a beautiful article. You may read more of it. Instead of getting into the jargon of the chemical compounds, one cartoonist has come out with a beautiful way, and then he has classified the various chemicals discovered in these galaxies in terms of the zoo, cometary zoo. He has called as cometary zoo. Then you can say that these are the different chemicals, and he has metaphorized or put a metaphor of various species. Very interesting slide. I liked it. I'll not get into all these chemical compounds. It may be too much alien to all the audience. Now, here is an important point. When the karmas, new karma, Nutan karma enter into us, and they need to be fixed. And there are 4 types of bonding, bandhan. One is called prakriti and pradesh, sthiti and anupag. Yoga payadipadesa tidi anupaka kasayado vodi. Here is a clue for us. You see that we may not be able to stop our Aashrav, but we can purify it. The yoga, karma yoga, gives the prakriti and pradesh bandh, and the stability, the shelf life, the long duration being fixed in our within us is done by the anubhag. It is done by the kashaya. It is the kashaya that is dangerous as such to us, not the yoga because Sayog Kevali Bhagavan uses the yoga to reach us out. That's the point. Yoga nimitte nevejak bajayi tam irya bhagat kammati bhanitam vodi. That's why we say in Sri Shadgandakam, the Tika Davla Pustak, we have this, the karma which is bound only because of yoga is called Irya Pada Aashrav karma. So Irya Pada Aashrav karma, we can, once we reach a stage, the moksha is very much nearer, as we are saying it is Sayoga Kevali Gunastan. So we have 2. One is the yoga giving the prakriti and pradesh bandh, which is of short duration, and the sthiti and anubhag bandh is the longer duration running into sagar upams, taking example of sagar period. So we see that Aashrava, then we can look at it as Bhavashrav and the Dravyashrav. Bhavashrav is the one, our parinam, that we are indulging in, and that gets converted into Nimitta Naimitta Yoga, and simultaneously it is getting converted into Utkala Aashrav. That is the one Vargana coming and getting attached to the body. There are common sharir, respective body it gets attached. So, and respective organ it goes, whatever message they have. Then we can also divide these Aashrav into Shubh, Ashubh, and Shubhashubh. At any given time, it can be good, bad, or good and bad, depending on that. This is called Samparayika Aashrav. Samparai means Parampara, means continuity. Continuity to remain where we are in the mundaneness. Samsara Avastha is called Samparayika Avastha. It's in terms of Gunastan, we see, we move up on the scale into the Gunastan, 14 Gunastan. In the something 11th, 12th, 13th, we have Irya Patasra. 11th Gunastan, 13th, 12th Gunastan, and 13th Sayog Kevali Gunastan. And 14th and above is the Siddha Avastha. There is no Karmasra. So that is what is the driving force? As a chemist, we always ask any for reaction, what is the driving force of the reaction? Will this reaction take place or not? Similarly, the driving force, why this Aashrav is coming? What is the parinam? What is our intent, motive that takes into that? So the motive, we see that Rago, Doso, Moho, Indi, Yasanna, Yagarava, Kasaya, Mana, Vayana, Kaya, Sigita, Asaba, Vodi, Kammasa. Moolachar, in fact, expands it. Whereas if you trace Samesa, it traces only 4 important classifications. Michattam Aviramanam Kasaya Yogaya Sanna Sannatu Bahuvihaya Beta, Bahuvika Beya Jiva, Jiveta Seva, Annana Parinama. Because of that Gyan, we are not aware of our own self. Then we get into, as Prabhaji was mentioning, we are craving for the creed because we do not know that we have so much, we have our own abundance. That's the point. So that we already talked about Chetana, that is the Bhav and Dravya Bhav. And the, what is that name Mulachara says?
Excuse me,
Likes,
sir.
Raga, Dvesh.
Sir, just quickly, I just wanted to make sure in case we are on this slide for a while, did you mean to change the slide or you wanted to stay there?
Pardon?
Your slide, the cycle of transmigration.
Ah, yeah.
Did you mean to stay on this or you wanted to change the slide?
That we have moved further now.
I know, but your slide has not changed. At least for us, we cannot see the change in the slide.
My God,
Maybe
what is
you are
happening?
moving and it's not showing us. Sorry to interrupt you, sir.
Oh. Okay, I'll just again start. Oh, sorry. It's today we are having a lot of. I'll just stop and again start again, so that we move
Yeah,
on.
apologize for that.
No, you are so nice of it. That's very important. We should be in the same page, as we say. Can you see this slide? Okay.
It's still the
Now,
cycle of transmigration. So you want to click on the left to the slide you want to be
No, I am
on.
moving on to that. Yeah. Are we here now? Can you see this?
We can see.
Yeah.
We can see the slides. I think it's just the
No,
wrong
you can
slide.
see the current slide now. Driving force of Aashrav.
No. I'm only seeing the cycle of transmigration. So either
My
you're in
God.
some mode or yeah, there we go. Now we can see it. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go ahead with this thing. Okay, I'll not get into this one. Thank you, madam. Thank you for the inconvenience to all of you. Extremely sorry. So, no, I was saying, what is the driving force that which is we are accumulating, inviting the karma? That many parinam could be likes and dislikes, moha, then your own sensual activities. Then there is important called, there are four sanya, garav, and kashaya. So when I said, Acharya Kundu said basically is the midyat, wrong belief, and then, that's what he went for that. So starting with the midyat, that is the beginning and the end of our, beginning of the sansara, end of our thing, till we do that mind. So I just want to touch upon it. The Mohaniya is the king of all karmas. Once you extinguish this Mohani karma, then we are straight away getting into the area of Aashrav, and that is Sayokevali. So Mohaniya is called Ari. That's why Bhagavan is called Arihant, which all of us know. I just took one line from Sri Swayambhu Stotra, another excellent source book for us. There are 143. I should not be running out of time. Yeah. So Moharupo Ripu Papa Kashaya Bhadasadana. Moharupo Ripu, the enemy, which is the summation, summon, total pap. If you want to define what is the sin, it is the Mohani karma, Darshan Mohani karma, because that has the longest duration of stay. 70 kota koti. 70 kota koti will be 7 into 15. 7 into 7 power, 7 into 10 power 15 sagar period. These are very long period. Once we are able to take control of it, then we become Samyak Drishti and we move on. That's why he said some in Ratnakanta Sravaka Acharya Samudrabhata Swami said, Na Samyakta Samam Kenchit Trikale Trijakatya. There's an error. Na Samyakta Samam Kenchit Trikale Trijakatyavi Sreyo Asreyasya Midyatva Samam Na Anya Tanu Pradam. Those who are having body, Tanu Pradam, bodily people, we are all bodily people. There's nothing like this, nothing most stray, most benevolent is Samyaktvam, and the most destructive is the Midyatva. That's what he said. Then he said another one, it is from Ratnakanta Sravaka Acharya. Suppose we do something, what is that? Yedi Papa Nirodho Anya Sampata Kim Prayojanam. Suppose we are able to stop the Aashrav, then what is the need of all the other wealth? Ata Papa Aashravo stu Anya Sampada Kim Prayojan. Suppose whatever wealth and etc. I have, but still I am unable to control my Aashrav, especially Papa Aashrav. What is the use of that? It's a beautiful statement. So in I just will give the summation because time possibly I'm at 6:45, so I think I need to control. This is the Kadyanuvad of the Bharasanaveka. Mityatva how avirativa kasaya charo or yoga asrav rahe inka visaro ye panch kramasa chavateen bhate sadashastra shuddha inka shuchi gitu yagate. That is what is Mityatva is of 5 types. That is what is that? Ekanta, Vinaya, Viparita, Ajnana, Samshaya. Next stanza gives that. And thank you, I think. Then we have Kashai is 4 types. Krodh, Man, Maya, Lop. The Uttama, Chama, Mardava, Arjava, Shaushir, especially Daman karta hai, Krodh, Man, Maya, Lop. And then 3 yoga we already discussed on that. So let's look at because we need to stop this papasra, the sinful activities. What are things we are creating that our pramadacharya, our intoxicated way, that we get really carried over by whatever is happening around us, and then we forget. We are not grounded properly. There is pramacharya. There are 15 types of pramad. Then kalushata, designing something to be done, to take revenge, etc., etc. Hankering after sensual pleasures, which we talked about yesterday. I think since we have senses, since we do not have this sense of Atma Vidya, we get into the sensual pleasures, causing anguish to others, papa paraparitapa, and slandering others, parapavada, criticizing others. So yeah, this one, 4 passions, 6 senses, including mind, 4 kinds of wasteful narratives. We got all the TV programs in India. We get a lot of vikata, not kata, vikata, last wasteful. Then excessive sleep or leisure and excessive social activities, friendship. Just having, I've got 5,000 friends. These things we usually see in Facebook. Like that. People say that, I mean to say. So we have, there's something called lesha, thought spectrum, color spectrum of our thoughts. That's called lesha. There are 6 lesha. The first 3, black, blue, and gray. Krishna and Neela, Kapot lesha are the one negative. It is the one which is, we say he has got a black heart, Kala Dilwala. Because of this, and we always entertain all the negative thoughts. We start comparing others. We feel jealous and worried for nothing. Keep on worrying. This is due to this one of these. Intensity is black and comes down to gray. Engagement stories I already mentioned about generally in our Agam, this is meant for the saints. They're not supposed to indulge in, once they have renounced the world, they should not talk about women, politics, and how to loot, how to save tax, etc., etc. These are the vigata. This is if we were indulging our speech to that, this is the indulgence, Vachana Yoga. Yes, first one is Mano Yoga, next one is Vachana Yoga, third one is the Kaya Yoga. Kaya Yoga is the one physically harming, doing harm to others. That's the point. This, if you go to any temple in our India, even in USA, you see this picture, the wall hangings. Here's a tree. There are 6 travelers. They wanted to have the fruit. There's a tendency in the society. Some of us say only me, nothing more than that. All the way, my way, high peace, highway. And so the first person here, if you see, he wants to have the fruit. Is it better cut the tree so that all the fruits will be available? Second fellow is the lesser evil. Said, let me cut that branch, bigger branch. Third one is still little there, get that tiny branch. Fourth one plucks, that you see. Fourth one also cuts a small branch, twigs. And fifth one is, sorry, upar, for that other way. I just see that, yeah. I think it got reversed here. I'm sorry, I'm reading reversely. Please pardon me on that. So the sixth one I said is uprooting. Fifth one is cutting the trunk. Fourth one is cutting the branch. Fifth one is cutting the twigs. And the second one is plucking the fruits. If I need only fruits, why should I harm the tree? And the first one is wonderful, is that he collects the fruit that has fallen on the ground. It's a beautiful depiction of 6 glaciers. So I said about the 4 sanya, which Mulachar also talked, and also Samayasar. Each of us have got these 4 sanya. That is saha, we need food, of course, no doubt. Then bhai, insecurity, insurance, etc. we think. Then maithun. Maithun is not only sexual activity, urge to have social interaction, social clubbing. We are a social animal, so we need to look at it, socializing it part of. Then, of course, the parigraha, which that can be small to big. These are the 4 in turn. These are the 4 sanya, which keeps us glued to the point of it. The sky is the limit in terms of having the feeling, urge, cravings, so on like that. See the haughtiness of the vanity. Each one of us are different, is different. And so we cannot be egoistic about it. So generally it's again meant for the saints. Shabda Garav. I'm very good in expressing. I can sing. I can do it. I have many languages. I can speak in many languages, etc., etc. The Vyakaran, Shabda, Chand, etc. Boasting oneself is called Shabdakara. Riddhi Garav, we talked about the Riddhi yesterday. The Riddhi means not only, even we all have certain amount of Riddhi, that we should not be again comparing and boasting about it, because these are all Trayobhasamik Bhav, not Chaik Bhav. Then Sata Garav, that I got so much a big family, good friends, my sons and daughters are very nice, taking, etc., etc. Only praising your own Sata Vetanikar, all the thing. This has to be got rid of. We should not become slave to this kind of garavas. Kalushrita, I mentioned earlier that Kalushrita actually leads to that we start melancholy, worrying all the time, as if health sky has fallen. So we have that Krodh, Man, Maya, Lobh, and into the Sanya. Then we have the Lesha. Then it all things that we all imagining things to have Raudra Parinam and Artha Parinam. Artha and Raudra are Durdhyan. That is all the time planning how to harm. He insulted me, he did not see me, etc., etc. This is Raudra Parinam. Artha Parinam is worrying what will happen to my health. I'm already old. I don't know how long I'll live. What kind of disease will come? Imagining many things. Perfect. So this is the Kalushata Bhavna. So Acharya Kunkun says that let's classify into 2. Midhyatva is the Midhyatva and Samyak. Once if you remain unawake and straight, you keep on accumulating karma and binding down. But if that's what he says, that how it gets found, it gives 3 R's. I'm using the word 3 R's: right faith, right knowledge, and right contact. If it is at the lower level, then we start getting karmas. But this is the way, it's a proportion. So, and thus karma, whatever comes, is distributed into different organs and sub-organs, etc., etc., just like our food eaten is digested and sent to different parts of the bodies. That's a part of it. These gathas are there. Vishi Sukh, this is for the Munis. Sravak also have to be very cautious. I said yesterday, too much of abuse of our indriyas will lead to fall of the immunity and we'll get a lot of disease. I see a lot of my people in our system, because they just, when they were in power, they thought that they can go on every day alcohol, etc., etc. I'll not get into that. So Vishi Sukh in a way can be wish Sukh, because as long as we are satisfied with the lesser pleasures, we will not be looking at the higher one, that Ananta Sukh, which we will not be looking at it. In a way, it is a poison in a sense that it keeps on killing us every moment, every birth, etc. So now let's now come to the auspicious Aashravas. What are the good ones? I talked about all the bad ones, but Punyasrava and precious. What is that we say? We should always be prasannachit. Be happy always. Happy smile, just a kind of thing. Always, sport a smile. Nothing, just be smile, because sukh is your own. The prasannata is your own characteristic. Persist attachment will be there. There's a great Tirukural. You may not understand it, but I recite it. Patruga, patatran, patrinai, patruga, patrai, vidatku. I am using the word because uses the only word called patru, attachment. How? Because we cannot suddenly become vitara. So we need to have, we have to have the rock, sarak. The sarak would be directed towards the vitara. That is important. Then satveshu maitrim gunashu pramodam klisheshu jiveshu krapaparatvam madhyastha bhavam viparita vritto sadamamatma vitadhatu deva. That is the one samaic part that we should endow with ourselves, enrich with ourselves. Maitri bhavana to all the beings, paraspara upaprojivanam, because Maitri bhavana, and then those who are having suffering, having from near and dear ones or anybody, we need to anukampan. Kampan is they're shaking, and we should also feel shaken, equally resonating it. Then chitta kalushata should not be there. I told you that moga shobhavino charito. Some Pravachana says we should not have moga shobhavinam. And again, just permit me to say Tirukural Manathukan Masilan Nadal Anaitharan. What he says that Acharya Kunkun, what is all this dharma? Nothing. Getting rid of all the negative things is dharma. So in your mind, manam is mind, that getting rid of all this kalushata is dharma. So I just wanted, I really like Ratnakanda Sravakacharya, especially this 114. Graha karmani nichitam karmam vibadi kalu graha vimuktanam atitinam pratipuja ruchiram malam dhavate vari. My hand is, what you call, tainted with blood because I indulge in a lot of pop activities. Just keep on doing many things which I am unable to control. He says, what is the best way to wash this blood of sin is to give ahar with the very hand, give ahar to the renounced munis, acharyas, sadhus, and that will wash away your sin. You see, graha karmani nichitam karmam vimadi kalu graha vimuktanam, how to get rid of it. Atitinam pratipuja rutiram amalam dhavate vari. Such a beautiful one. So if you start looking and summarizing it kind of thing, then I think almost coming, or some more. So Shubhopayog, using our Upayog Gyan or Darshan into Shubhopam, is that we should always have one or other vrat. Chota wo, bada wo, yam wo, name wo, vrat rakna. Vrat dharan ka baad, once we have the vrat, we should adhere to it. We should not break it. We should not give it up. Then, as I said that since we are still engaged in mundane activities, let's take care of these people, the great people who are renounced, and give them 4 types of dhan, food and etc. And then always worship Pancha Parameshri. On the Sri Padavatmani Panchanam Parameshrinam Lalitani Surati Chachudamani Marishi. Pancha Parameshri ka hamesha vandana karna. It is not necessary it should be in a different very posture. It should be walking, running, sitting, editing. The mind can be doing that. Inspire others in religion, which is important. Vasalya Bhavana inspire. Spread the dharma prabhavana. And help the devotees, our own Bhavika, Vasalya, Sthitikaran, helping them. We need to help them. If we have more money, give them the money if it is recovering to them. Practice the scripture. Shastrapya so janapati sarvadi sankadarvi satprutana nagragata doshavate chamaunam. Sarvasyapi prayetavacho bhavanacha atmatatve sampatyantyam mama bhavave yavate devabarka. I need to keep on practicing till I reach nirvana. So, Shastrapyas, the scale of the service to Janashasana. If you can take it to another level, do it. These are some of the things we should be doing it as a Nitya Karma. Shakarmani Dine Dine. So we already talked about it again it is from Panchasikai, usually same thing. Devotion, bhakti, there are Dash Bhakti, you can say Aragat Bhakti, Tirthankara Bhakti, Siddha Bhakti, Sadhu Bhakti, Acharya Bhakti. Bhakti not only recitation, Bhav Roop se, Shraddha Roop se karna. That is what it means. Then we should always keep engaged in pious activities so that it is nearer to our Atma Dharma. And we always need to have mentors in our life. Those mentors, not tormentors, mentors who can take care, guide us properly, hand-holding, they will do it. These are things we really learned from Panchasikai. So the Anukampa already talked about it, reaching out to the needy. Sabiko, Maitri Bhavana, doesn't matter. Daya Datti, we call it as just in terms of Jeev Daya, help others who are there. Never mind, question that with Patra, don't worry, because just Daya from your side, helping them. You don't worry what that fellow is going to do for that. Just helping and do that. Your helping will really help him to also do the self-development. Then, once you have the Anukampa is not only external, it's internal. To me, within myself, I need to be loving myself. I need to have Anukampa within me so that I'll be able to raise into 3R, right knowledge. And so the right knowledge, Vitara, Veda Vigyan, once I get it, then I'll get that insight about me. And then I will be, so that I'll not be addicted to the worldly existence. We develop a samveg and vairagya bhavna. Jagat kaya sabhava samvega vairagya artham. It's a beautiful tapas. Excuse me. So it is not the end of the world, I said. The great Acharya Kun said, don't worry, you are in the waiting list. You will really board the plane, no time. Your visa is ready. So he says that the moment you become out of 3 Ratnas, if you become Samyak Drishti, you are aware of it. If you are awake in your house, the thieves will not dare to enter your house. Aashrav, Papasrav will not enter into it. So he said that awakened state, Aashrav will come, but it will not be not Samparaya Ashram, it will be Iryapatai. That's what is a beautiful clue for us, that if we are always awake, the conscious that I am the Supreme Soul, that these things are not required. These are the temptations, or this is the karma uday that I am doing it. I'll not be wavering into it. That kind of thing. So beautifully, I say, we just said it because all the time we thought only by becoming saints, we can do it. Gragasto, Moksha Margasto, Nirmoho, Mogino, Mani, Prataganda Sravakchar says, even being a Gragasti can be in the Moksha Marg. That is a beautiful Vandana Karna Chayachari. Kunkumpo went with the Kshetra and got this great message. Course correction, he did that. With this, I come to the end of today's session, and some of the Agama scriptures as a gratitude, I've listed them. I will be failing in my duty if I do not acknowledge all this Sudha Parampara, Tirthankaras, Kavali Bhagwan, Dhanadhar, and Sridhar. And of course, today one slide from Scientific World. Of course, last but not least, these 2 great ladies. The name is Priyadarshana and Prabha, Dharma Prabhavana, Priyadarshana, beautiful name. Always when I remember their names, I am reminded of the Samyak Darshan. Madam Samyak Darshan, Priyadarshanaji and Madam Prabhaji, thank you so much for giving me opportunity to get into Shastra Abhyas, Swadhyay. Thank you so much. As I mean that these slides can be used for anywhere, any place. I have no contribution to them. If I made any error, please forgive me, but get along with the job. Thank you so much, Sada Jai Jane.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dev Kumar. I know it was so humble and modest of you to say that, it's none of it is yours and you share, but I know how long it takes, to prepare the slides and come up with the references, and, there's a lot of work that goes into it. So we really applaud you and appreciate you taking the time to share with us your knowledge. And now we will go on to the questions. You have done such a thorough job on the topic. I'm sure everyone got at least some new information today. Even the fact that the word Aashrav, usually normally you hear that the word Aashrav is coming off the karmas, and even I thought of it as, okay, you learn a little more detail and you think that coming off the karmas in the same space as the soul. And now you said that Aashrav is the flow of the karmas, continuous flow. So very good. So I'm sure we all learned something different than what we knew before, and good. And this is what is going to help our knowledge get nirmal, pure by the day as we hear more of this and study our own scriptures. Okay, so we'll go on to our questions. And today's topic, even though Sir went into a lot of detail, but I think it should be relatively simpler to answer questions. So all of you, please try to contribute. What is Karma Yoga? I would avoid taking names, so I would appreciate, Anshul, were you there for the most of the, if you can answer, this is a very simple question. If not, I would request Kamala Devi or some of you who can
We have
even
Sugandhi's sister also. Even Sugandhi ji is there, I
yeah,
think. Kamala-
Sugandhi ji, please
Yeah.
feel free to answer.
I think-
I hope you can all unmute yourself now.
Ilango is there. Today I see him. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please unmute and answer the questions.
Can I?
Yes, please.
Good morning. As as our Dr. Ji said, Karma Yoga, Vak Mana Yoga.
Mhm.
3 types of yoga. It is our thinking, our speech, and our actions. That invites Aashrav, whether it is pure or impure. Aashrav is divided into 2 types.
Mhm.
Therefore, Karma Yoga means what are all the things we do through our mind, our speech, and actions. As Dev Kumar ji said, there are 7 types of kayas. I need an explanation regarding the Avadharika Misra and the Aharaka Misra Sariras. If G is if G answers, I will be blessed. Thank you.
Very good, sir. And the next question is kind of similar. It says, how does karma influx into us? So your answer sort of includes it basically by the development of karma yoga. So, whenever there's spandan in the atma particles, the karma, mind, body, and speech action, they create that. And that's what is the influx karmas. Is it correct to state the influx is the reason a soul remains caged in the physical body?
Ram Jain can answer because he has raised his finger.
जय जैन
Yes.
देव कुमार जी मैं आप मेरे ज्ञान गुरु हैं. You are my encyclopedia in Jainism. I'm learning from you for the last 2-3 years. Now what I want to answer this question, there is a saying, मैं हिंदी में बोलूंगा क्योंकि अब मेरी अंग्रेजी में जरा हाथ तंग है. कहते हैं राग द्वेष से रंजित मन वचन काय के योग को आश्रव कहते हैं. जैसे हमारे मैन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बोर्ड, when there is electricity is produced, there is a turbine. आप जब टर्बाइन को घुमाते हैं तो उसमें से इलेक्ट्रिसिटी कन्वर्ट होती है और वो कंडक्टर से निकल जाती है. ऐसे मन वचन का है. मन, माइंड इज नॉट मन. मन इज 36 इंद्रिया. इट इज मेंशन इन जैनिज्म. जो आपके 5 इंद्रिय होती है, छठा मन भी है. मन वचन काय के योग से जो कर्मण वर्गनाएं शरीर में भरी पड़ी हैं, दे कम. दैट इज कॉल्ड आश्रव. मन वचन काय के योग से आश्रव होता है. और राग देश, एवरी मोमेंट देयर इज ए उदय, कर्म का उदय होता है, राग देश होता है. वो राग देश से कर्म का बंद हो जाता है. आश्रव बंद एक समय में होता है. देयर इज नो टाइम डिफरेंस. तो जो मन वचन काय से योग है, प्रकृति प्रदेश बंद होता है और राग देश से स्थिति और अनुभाग बंद होता है. That is mentioned by Dev Kumar ji. So every moment of life, like we are taking meals and it is digesting automatically, it is scientific. It is entirely scientific. You need not to ask any matter. It's a natural law. When you are whatever thought, good or bad, you will have a combination. You will have a ashram, and it has a duration. It will again regenerate the thoughts and all. This cycle is going on.
Yes,
Now,
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good answer. The only one caution here, I know you said it's always automatic, Aashrav and Bandh. But
Yeah.
remember, even if there is Aashrav, in the 14th, 13th Gunstan, if there is no Rag and Dvesh, there is no Bandh. So
No,
there's
because
that-
of मोहनी कर्म नहीं है वहाँ पर. मोहनी
जिनके
कर्म
नहीं है उनको बंद नहीं होता है, so it's not
हाँ,
always automatic. Aashrav and Bandh don't always go hand in hand. And the other thing I want to correct myself, I mistakenly said Atma particles. That was a loose translation of Pradesh. It's actually Atma Pradesh.
Hmm.
So apologies for that. I'll move on to the next question. Name any method of classification of karma influx. He mentioned, 2 sets.
I think we'll ask Kamala Devi, our sister. She's a very good Sanskrit scholar also. So I think
Right.
she should come on board. Yeah. If she's there. If she's there, but she's muted.
Yes, she is there. Can you unmute, Madam Kamala Devi ji?
I'm sorry, I could not answer for this question.
It's okay, no problem. The answer to this question is Dravya Aashrav and Bhav Aashrav. And then the other 2 classification, Dravya Aashrav, Bhav Aashrav, then Sampray Aashrav and Iryapat Aashrav. He talked about the details of those. And then the third one is Punya Aashrav, Pap Aashrav, and Shubh Aashrav and Ashubh Aashrav. So those are the 4 pairs he talked about. State 1 inauspicious activity of mind. So this should be simple. Basically, anything that will, an inauspicious activity that will create influx of karmas.
Ramesh can answer.
Jai Jinendra.
Jai Jinendra sir. There's some disturbance from your line. So if you want to turn off your video and answer, maybe because of the speed, it's not coming clear.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, answer now.
Good morning, myself Ramesh Jain from Coimbatore. The one thing what inauspicious is that more anger and keeping the anger with us. So that adds more problem into our karma side. Keeping the anger with us, that is a bigger inauspicious thing what we do to ourselves that we can avoid.
Sure, that's one of them. But all of the actually kashayas, mithyatva, kashay, so any of those, any activity, whether gross or subtle, under the influence of any of the negative traits, hatred, and quasi-passions like laughter is an auspicious activity of the mind. So for the most of the time, we are indulging in the inauspicious activities. Something to ponder upon.
Okay.
Next question. State the 4 types of vikata or inauspicious speech. Just to give you guys a hint, if you went to
Kata,
vikata,
Rajakata.
yeah, very good.
Kata, Rajakata, Agarakata.
Desh Katha.
Tridugata. That is stealing. Kata, what was Tridugata.
Kata.
Very good. So, Stri Kata is sexual activities, food recipes is Bhat Kata, which happens a lot of times when the ladies meet each other. They're talking about recipes, very common. Raj Kata, this is more prominent in males. When they get together, they're trying to rule the world and fix all the world problems by discussing politics. And of course, theft. So next question, state 1 inauspicious activity of the body. Something
Sugandhi
that
madam can, Sugandhi madam can come. You can speak in Tamil also, no problem, if it is required.
yes, please, that's okay. Sir will translate for us. Actually, I don't know if I see Sugandhi madam. Maybe she's
Sugandhi
not.
is there, Sugandhi Bhadrabhag, I see her.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, she's there.
Yes, please unmute and answer.
Maybe she's just gone. She's there, yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
நான் கொஸ்டினை கேட்கல கொஸ்டினை திரும்ப ஒரு முறை சொல்லுங்க ஹலோ
Yes.
கொஸ்டின் திரும்ப ஒரு முறை சொல்லுங்க
Oh, you want me to repeat the question?
Yes.
Okay, one second. The question is state 1 inauspicious activity of the body.
I don't understand it.
Papa karma.
Papa karma.
Yeah, done by the body.
Actually, Samrambam, Samarambam, Arambam. Samrambam is thinking, Samarambam is gathering tools for doing a bad thing, and Arambam is the inauspicious activity of the body, I think. Those 3 things contribute to influx of Aashravas. Thank you, sir.
Sir, you can confirm, but I think that is also correct. Even though in your answers you have written inhumane, confinement or inflicting injuries and killing.
Pramadam Kalusha, Vishaya Lolupata, Para Paritapa, Para Apavada. Everything is done by body. Excessive negligent activity.
All right.
It means
Dev Kumarji, can you confirm all these answers?
We see anything we indulge, punch, that himsa, stay.
Sure, those are all
all those things. We keep on, many times, without even knowing it, we keep doing it. So the best avrat bhavna, asamyam. Asamyam is, of course, is the one we do it by our body. There are many things we keep on doing it. Isn't it Shila Vratam that we talked about 18,000 Shila Vratam? So it should be easy for us to recollect. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, there is so many. Any of these can be the correct answers. So enumerate the seeds of karma influxes. Or if anybody understands in Hindi, Aashrav ke 5 karan.
Mithyatva, Avrat, Pramad, Kasha, Yog.
Yes.
Bhavasra, these are the seeds. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. And of course, there's details of it. If you, there's 5 major types of Mithyatva, 5 types of Avirati, 15 types of Pramad, 16 and 9 types of.
Four Kashai and
Mhm.
15 Yoga.
Mhm. State any one auspicious activity of the mind.
Punyasava, Prashasta,
Mhm.
Raga, Anukampa.
No, we are talking about actually activity, something that we are engaged in for auspicious activity. What would you do?
Just to observe the vows. Worship.
Yes, that would be one of them. So
When we do
introspection,
bhakti.
meditation, detached attitude, and even what we are doing right now, listening to something,
Swadhyay.
contemplating in our mind, introspecting in our mind, all those would come into auspicious activities. What is divine gospel? So I think this would be a little confusing for people to understand, basically.
Shadgandham. Is it so? Gospel.
Okay, no, he's saying in one which is the cause of destroying the karmic bondage is the divine gospel. State any one auspicious activity of the body.
Can I ask? Can I ask this divine gospel? What was the word in Sanskrit or Prakrit? What is that question? I could not understand the English. Gospel is what? What did you mean, Dr. Devkumar?
No, I just meant for Januvani, basically. I don't know what I've written that time. Basically, the Januvani Agam, divine gospel.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I meant that. I don't know. I might have written something wrong there. I think, yeah.
Sure.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, that's why I think some
Kasab.
people
Okay.
didn't get it. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I also didn't have any understanding.
Sure.
Okay.
Now, the last question is state any one auspicious activity of the body. So the previous question had to do with activity of the mind. Now it's activity of the body.
When we do puja, that's auspicious.
Yeah.
Bhakti puja, etc.
Dev puja, Guru Pasti, Vayavrat, compassion, helping others, helping elderly, saving the lives.
That's true. That's very good. So these are all auspicious. But one caution, I am not sure if Sir mentioned this. Either way, whether it is auspicious or inauspicious, both ways it's Aashrav, and Aashrav is going to keep us in the sansar. And
Punyashrav, Papashrav.
yes, so we should not wish for either of them. Even though relative to doing pap, at least you would be involved in the punya activity. But we should be involved in those activities with the heya, it's worth leaving that mentality. Okay, so that takes care of our questions. We are almost out of time. If anybody has a question, we just have a couple more minutes to take those.
Dr. Devkumar, I had a question on towards the very end, the slides that have this 3 Anukampa, Dharma, Mishra, and Sarva Anukampa. So I don't know if I missed out. If you expanded on it.
Sorry, I missed to mention that. Thank you so much, Shantilal Bhai Sahab. Actually, the Anukampa, we mentioned that as Prabhaji always adds a dimension. We need to always think of to go beyond this Aashrav. Coming to the Anukampa, once we are awakened state, we're very conscious of our own activities. Yesterday, we showed the body having its own, macrocosm or microcosm. So the Anukampa within ourselves to take care of it. And also, bonded condition that I am, I should love more myself. Coming to, there are 3 classifications Mitra Anukampa, Misra Anukampa, Sarva Anukampa, and so on. That slide I missed. And in Marana Kandika, they have quoted external text to say how that Sarvanukampa, the Tirthankar and the great saints and all, their Anukampa is expanding beyond the world, beyond 3 worlds. In fact, Baharu say that's what it is. So they said that Anukampa can be self-expanded to include that point. So they said 3 types of Anukampa. Yeah.
So
Sarvanukampa, yeah.
Dharma, Mishra, and Sarva.
Yeah, Dharma Anukampa and Mishra Anukampa. Because ultimately Dharma, the Anukampa and Dharma is very important. Mishra Anukampa is the involvement because people are involved in the mundane state, they're evolving then. And Sarvanukampa is that all encompassing it. So they quoted some other text in the Marana Kandika. Thank you so much. I just missed. I thought I'm running out of time. Yeah,
okay, I was trying to connect this Dharma Anukampa in Purusharth Siddhi Upay. Acharya Amritchandra, he talks about Swadaya and Pardaya. So is the Swadaya equal to Dharma Anukampa? That's my question.
Yeah, Swadaya. Yes, that's in fact, that's what Dharma Anukampa is for self. Swadaya, yes. Because invariably we forget about ourselves.
Oh, yeah,
especially our mothers. They just forget they are also existing. All the time, children, which what we see. So I think it loving self. So certainly agree, Acharya Amritchandra ji. Yes. Thank you so much.
Sure.
All right, thank you so much. We will end today's session now. And tomorrow again, we will have Vidushi Swanubhuti Jain with us, presenting the Samvar Bhavana. And, Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. Sahajanandi Shuddha Swarupi Avinashi Hu Atma Swarup. निज निधि निज में बताई यह अनंत उपकार है, इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है, वंदना शत बार है. Jai Jinendra all.
Jai Jinendra everyone.
Thank you. Jai Jinendra.